Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I want to be sure. I want to thank you all for being here. My name is Pauline Brooks, and I am board president for the California Alliance of Retired Americans. Welcome to our 22nd annual convention. This is our first all virtual convention. So we thank you in advance for your patience with any technical problems we will be having. From including several, we have, excuse me, we have packed the agenda for today. We have some great speakers, and we will be hearing from some questions. And at this point, I'm going to say it. Please make it a question that can be answered and not editorial. Thank you. So that we can fulfill our full day here. If you have any technical support needs that cannot be solved via the chat, we have a phone support line which you can reach by calling 510 663 4086. So we will move forward. Technically, for many of us, this is an adventure. Welcome, welcome. And we have a special Kara friend here who is also a full part of our convention. And he is none other than our own John Bowser, who is senior advisor to Social Security Works. And of course, we all who are 50 and over know him by. I turn it over to John, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Pauline. And I did love your choice of words, which is we apologize in advance for any technical difficulties we will be having, rather than we may be having. That's usually the story on Zoom meetings. But welcome everybody to the very first Kara totally virtual convention. There have been 22. I've been at quite a few of them over the years because we at Social Security Works just want to say to Kara that there is no better ally anywhere in America than this group. And we have done so much work already this year together. So many rallies outside hospitals and outside congressional offices to try to hold people accountable for the votes that they have been taking. And as many of you know, and many of you are participating in, this time period right now in the state of California is all about Prop 50 and making sure that Prop 50 gets passed. We are going to have to flip the House in 2026 in order to stop any more horrid legislation like the big ugly bill that was passed earlier by reconciliation. And if we don't flip the House, there's going to be another one of those coming down the pike in 2027. So we've got to make sure that we stop this. It's very dangerous, especially for seniors. It's dangerous for everybody, but seniors are one of the biggest targets of this kind of legislation. As you probably know, is the biggest Medicaid cuts in history by far, plus $500 billion coming out of Medicare. That doesn't get talked about very much. Right at this moment, the focus is on our junior seniors in a lot of ways, and that's important for Kara too, and for us at Social Security Works, because the Affordable Care Act subsidies not being extended affects people mightily in the years when they're most likely to get sick without health insurance, right before they can get to that wonderful program called Medicare that has made, along with Social Security, the biggest difference in the lives of American seniors in American history. These are the two most successful domestic programs of all. So, without getting too much in the weeds here at the beginning of this program, just understand that passing Prop 50 is an absolute necessity. The bear, and I have a few of them behind me. Okay, those pictures were taken in Alaska, I admit it. But the bear in California is going to roar on November 4th. This is a must. And I urge everybody to do what I am doing, which is show up every Monday at 12 noon on the Cara phone bank for yes on Prop 50. The vote is yes. Get that in everybody's head. And this has been a super effective phone bank. Rob will tell me whether we got to 100. I don't think we quite got to 100 last Monday. We are pushing 100 people on the phone bank, and that is amazing. We're making thousands and thousands of calls. They're not hard calls. They're fun. Most of them are yeses, and some of them are I don't know enough about it, and then you can persuade people, and they become yes. And the ballots have been sent out in the mail. I've gotten mine. Send it right back, and you can tell people if they get their ballot and send it back. The best news is they'll get taken off the list, and they won't be called anymore. So once their vote is in. So this is a critical time in the state of California. And the way I've been saying it is that we, for once, are the center of the universe. We are Delphi. In ancient Greece, Delphi was thought to be the center of the universe, and that's why they had the Oracle of Delphi there. We are the center of the electoral universe. We all know that we all have that feeling that sometimes our votes don't really count, like in the Electoral College. We still got to vote, but how much difference does it make? Right now, we make the biggest difference in America. When they go low, we fight back, and we are fighting back. I am the guy in the movie Grease. Pauline did refer to my Sha-na-na career. I'm the guy who in 1978, during the big scene at the Hop, when Sha-na-na sang every song, and Cha-Cha Di Gregorio and Danny Zuko were doing the limbo, I'm the guy who was somehow talking about what's going on in this regime that we have in Washington and this party that appears to be trying to decimate the lives of Americans, because I'm the guy who said, how low can you go? How low can you go? Say it with me. How low can you go? How low can you go? And it does seem as if there is actually no bottom. So when they go this low, we fight back. And that's my message for today. As Bowser would put it, bum 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 dang a dang dang a ding a dong ding. Yes, on Prop 50. Ooh, those low notes are good in the morning. Now, my distinct pleasure to introduce my friend and the doing a great job as the executive director of the California Alliance for Retired Americans, Rob England.
John, thank you so much for being here and for introducing the convention. Hi all, Rob England, Executive Director for CARA. Today I am going to review the events that we're going to be conducting today. So after my introduction here, we are going to hear from our Senior Vote Committee. Senior Vote is our electoral program that we run every 2 years. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pass it back to Pauline for our next speaker.
I'm going to refer for Michelle to introduce our next speaker. So, Michelle, are you available?
I am. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, dear.
I
Take
love
it
that
over.
I am very excited and honored to get to introduce the head of our Cal Labor Fed, Loretta Gonzalez. Loretta is a San Diegan who grew up around farm animals, etc. Her mom was a nurse, and she grew up around labor and then went and got her law degree. She went to, let's see if I remember, I know she graduated with her law degree from UCLA, and she went to Stanford before that, and Georgetown, I believe, was the third school. But what I love about having had the opportunity to work with Loretta over the years as the head of our labor council in San Diego and Imperial County's labor council, before she got to the assembly, is that she was just always so creative and so ready to figure out ways that we're going to win people's hearts and minds one by one by one. So I remember suddenly her deciding that we were going to do a die-in the middle of the street when we were in the middle of a march. I believe it was the Cesar Chavez one, but it doesn't matter. She did this every single time. When we had a rally, actually an event at Occupy Wall Street down here in San Diego, she just was able to capture people that otherwise were just not really getting connected with what the essence was of that struggle. When they were taking away people's sleeping bags or backpacks, she laid her blankets down. And of course, they didn't, it just showed the essence that they didn't want to touch hers. But it's like every single battle, she just brings to the reality of the essence of what that means. So I am just very honored to have the opportunity to introduce Loretta Gonzalez to speak with us. I do want to also say that she's the first woman and first person of color, well, at least woman of color, if not person of color, to head our Cal Labor Fed when she was elected in 2022. That's a great honor. And I know right now she's co-chairing the AI National Committee for the AFL-CIO. Again, another great honor, and definitely one to help protect our workers' jobs. And she's always been and always will continue to be a champion for workers, whether she was in the assembly or every single job that she ever will do. I know she will continue to do that. And right now, of course, we have her as our Cal Labor Fed president. Thanks.
Thank you, Michelle. That was so sweet. And it was a little bit of a walk down memory lane. We did do a die-in to try to get a healthcare reform. We chalked ourselves in death on the ground throughout San Diego and then dared them to arrest us, and they did not. So it's so good. Brothers and sisters, how are we doing? I can't see you. I'm trying to see if I can change my view so I can see you, but I am so excited to be with you today. I'm coming from a hotel room actually in Boston because, as Michelle said, I serve as the one of the national co-chairs on the AFL-CIO's task force on AI. So artificial intelligence and the guardrails that we need and what we need to do to push back. Being in from California, of course, we're at the forefront of this. We're seeing jobs already go away thanks to tech trying to replace us. We see kind of the privacy implications, the security implications. And so the Massachusetts AFL-CIO had myself and our president, Liz Schuler, out today to try to get them to pass some of the same laws we've passed. Of course, we passed those laws and the governor vetoed them. So we've got work to do still. And that's something we'll be coming back to. But right now, what I wanted to talk about today, what I want to talk about is what's immediately in front of us. And that is Prop 50. How many people hopefully understand, know, already voted on Prop 50? Let me see it in the chat. If you already voted, can you give me like I voted already? I know I'm seeing hands up. No, I want to see it in the chat. I want to say I voted. I voted. I just voted. So that's what I like. I like to, oh, look at that. Look at that. So I'm preaching to the choir here. Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at all those. I voted on Monday. I just voted. I voted. Yes. So we are working. I don't need to tell you how important Prop 50 is, but I'm going to. So we have all been disgusted, right? We've been disgusted at what we're seeing on the national level. We see they're coming after us. I mean, Trump is literally tearing up collective bargaining agreements. It's shit we have, excuse my language, it's shit we have never seen. Like, it is so bad. And we finally have an opportunity, not just to go to a rally, not just to do die-ins, things that we should do, but also to have our voice heard through a vote in order to provide some, hopefully, guardrails. What we have seen is that the Republicans in Congress just refuse to stand up to this man. So as he continues to spend more and more on ICE, as he continues to tear up collective bargaining agreements, as he continues to attack Medicare, Medi-Cal, Social Security, it doesn't matter. We have nobody willing to fight for us because we don't have enough. We have Republican-controlled Congress and Senate. So what we're trying to do, when Trump went to his buddy in Texas and said, you got to get me more seats, because he knew, and some of you were part of this. We in California did what other people couldn't in the last election. We stopped that red wave. In fact, we picked up seats in Congress, and he knew we were going to pick up more seats. And so he was going to his friends in conservative states and saying, get me some seats. So we're fighting back. I think it's the greatest thing I've ever seen to get people to stand up and say, there is something we can do immediately. We can redraw these districts. So Prop 50 is top of the line importance for us. It's the first step. We have to pass Prop 50. And I'm happy to share with you that the polling is great. We're going to pass this from seemingly 57 to 59%. If I was a betting woman, I'd say we're going to end up with 59% of the vote. However, we cannot take it for granted. So I asked you all to tell me if you voted. If you voted, you need to go make sure 3 other people vote. If you haven't voted, get that ballot in. It is time, not just like if you talk to people and if you've been part of our phone banks, and I encourage you to, if you want to do some good phone banking, we have another one coming up tonight. We have another one coming up on the 28th. We send it out all the time. But canvassing phone banking, and Connie just put in that she's been canvassing and phone banking. I will tell you, this is the easiest canvassing and phone banking I've ever done. Like, I was leaving messages on cell phones and they were picking it up to tell me, yes, I'm voting for Prop 50. I'm going. So we've got to get people, now everybody has their ballot. We got to get them to turn it in. That is our charge in order that we can continue to protect working people in this nation, including our federal employees. So that's what we're looking at. That's what we're hoping for until November 4th, every single day. Everybody you talk to, did you vote yet? Did you turn it in? You don't need a stamp. You just got to get it in the mail. This is necessary because we know we can and should win this. And then we're going to have to come back and win those congressional seats. But thank you for all of you who I'm seeing this. I'm canvassing, I'm phone banking. That is what we need. I am so glad to see that. And I want to see more of that, so that we can continue to fight. And whether it's technology changes and big tech or corporations, we're going to continue to fight, but we've at least got to fight back in this moment against taking our right to have a check to this president. And that's what we're really trying to do. So thank you for giving me this time.
Great, thanks. Next question. What are you hearing as the #1 issue for California voters? For Cara's Phone Bank, we incorporate protecting Social Security and Medicare. Is this consistent with what you're hearing?
Yeah, those are 2 really big issues. Healthcare, obviously for you all, Medicare, Medi-Cal, now the subsidies going away in covered California are an issue. Those continue to be a huge issue, and we think it will be a growing issue as we move forward. Social Security is always a good issue, but jobs, we've got to come to terms with the fact that our unemployment rates in California are rising. We think it's rising because of the tech layoffs, basically. That accounts for why we are in a worse spot than the rest of the country, because we're already seeing AI and the tech changes replace humans in entry-level jobs. Now they're white-collar jobs, but those are jobs, and those are jobs we care deeply about to get our kids who have graduated from college into some entry-level positions. That's what's being eliminated. But that being said, when we talk to our own voters, to union voters, it's as if the blue collar workers are hardworking, skilled construction workers and truck drivers. They understand even more what a threat it is. Although it's actually affecting white collar jobs more right now. So we got to get everybody on that. We got to tell everybody that we need regulations, and we have to heighten that. It is an issue. Like, it's a 70-80% issue with working people, but we've got to make it a priority issue as well.
Great, thanks. Sorry for all those we couldn't get your questions asked, but we're at time now. So again, I want to thank Loretta Gonzalez for being here. We really appreciate you, your staff, and the relationship that Cara has with the Cal Labor Fed. So thanks, and we look forward to collaborating on AI and all the other all the other stuff that we share in common.
Thank you. I look forward to seeing you all on the phone banks. Take care.